35. The blessed Lord said, "Without doubt, O my charmed Arjun, the mind is difficult to curb and restless, but it can be controlled, O son of Kunti, Arjun, by constant practice and non-attachment." Shri Krishna says that there is no doubt about the mind that it is difficult to curb and restless, but while Arjun used the word chanchal, fickle for the mind, Shri Krishna uses the word chalam, which is restless. The Sanskrit language is such that there is a difference between the two words chanchal and chal. Chalat means restless, whereas chanchalat means becoming restless over and over again. The chalat of the mind is not a fault, whereas you can call the chanchalat a fault. The mind does become restless. Let us say that the mind now wants to think about wealth, and one thinks, I do not have wealth. This restlessness came to the mind, but it is necessary for one's development. But after one's attained wealth, then one should ask the question whether he got happiness after he got the wealth. He did not. Then one should ask, why do I keep going after wealth over and over again? If a person understands from this one experience, then his mind can be called chal, and if the person does not understand from this one experience, then his mind can be called chanchal, fickle. What Arjun is saying is that his mind is chanchal, fickle. We are not learning from experiences. If one thinks that an object will give him happiness, then he runs after that object. He got the object one time and realized that he did not get any happiness from it. He ran after the same object the second time. Did he get happiness from it? No. Then why do they keep going after the same object over and over again? If one's mind becomes chal, restless, then he can now start looking at another object because he realized that he did not get any happiness from the first object. He keeps looking at different objects through trial and error, but he keeps falling into the same hole over and over again. He keeps making the same mistake over and over again. Shri Krishna says to get out of this. Shri Krishna says not to give a fault to the chalat nature of the mind, and that one should become free from this chanchal, fickle nature. The mind is restless. Shri Krishna also uses the word durnigraham, which means difficult curb to describe the mind. But if it is difficult to curb, then one thing is certain, at least it can be curbed. There is hope. Then how can it be done? In the last verse, Arjun had described the mind as obstinate and as difficult to control the wind. Shri Krishna says, no Arjun, what you are saying is partially right in that it is difficult to control the mind, but one can control it. How then can the mind be controlled? Shri Krishna shows us two ways of how the mind can be controlled in this 35th verse, by constant practice and non-attachment. The Yoga Darshan also uses these words, Abhyas Vairagya Bhram Tanidonaha. The mind can be controlled by constant practice and non-attachment. Then what is this constant practice? First, wherever the mind goes, then bring it back from there and make it steady on the Swarup, which is the form of the Supreme Self, the Self, or the Soul. This is constant practice through the system of yoga. Second is guidance on the path of yoga. Third, make a decision in your mind to do so. Sa nichaya yuktavyo. Through the path of yoga, guidance on the path of yoga, and decisiveness in the mind, a person can make his mind steady in 3 to 6 months. You may be surprised by how short a time you can achieve this in, but you can. These are the words of the scriptures. The Amrita Upanishad contains the following mantra: Anena vidana samyak nidya abhyasyate kamat. Swayam utpade gnanam didvid mase nashyaseya. If a person keeps practicing this every day with complete faith, then wisdom will come by itself to him on the 3rd month. There is no doubt about this. It then says the following mantra: Ichchayaya apnoti kevalyam shaste masi na shumsaya. Within 6 months, the person reaches the state of enlightenment. But these 3 things are needed: the path of yoga, guidance on the path of yoga, and decisiveness. These are very important things. In the Ashwamedha Parva book of the Mahabharata, there is the Anugita, which is very beautiful. The Gita said on the Kurukshetra battlefield, that was a study that was said by Shri Krishna. This is the Bhagavad Gita. When the war finished, the Pandavas won and were performing yagnas. At that time, Arjuna asked Shri Krishna to give him the message that he gave to him on the Kurukshetra battlefield once again, because it was said during the war there was tension, and Arjun was sitting there questioning what Shri Krishna was saying. Arjun said that at that time he was not doing what Shri Krishna was telling him to do so, but now Arjun was in a receptive mind and asked Shri Krishna to tell it to him once again. Shri Krishna told Arjun that what he told him had gone, and that the Gita can only be said once because it's original and it cannot be said repetitively. Shri Krishna told Arjuna that despite this, if he had any questions, then he should ask him. After this, Shri Krishna and Arjuna had dialogue about wisdom, which is known as the Anugita. Anu means to follow, and so Anugita was the Gita that followed. In the Anugita, Shri Krishna said in the 66th verse of the 19th chapter that Shanmasa Nitya Yuktasya Yoga Partha Pravarte. O Partha Arjuna, one who constantly practices this attains yoga in 6 months. One who constantly practices attains yoga in 6 months. Therefore, in a time period of 3 to 6 months, a human being can make his mind one-pointed if he practices. Shri Krishna gives a lot of importance to constant practice. How can one practice? This is through dhyan, as Guruji showed during his meditation discourses. The videos are on YouTube. Secondly, the Supreme Soul says in this verse that vairagya, non-attachment, is also needed as well. Constant practice and non-attachment. The root support of these two things is a belief that the human being should have that wherever his life can be changed. One should do this with faith. If one cannot do dhyan meditation until now, then what happens is that, does that mean that person will not be able to do it from now on? If that has happened thus far, then it will happen now. You can improve yourself from wherever you are, whatever you are. You can always go towards betterment. A person should have this feeling. Only then can he practice, and only then can he have a feeling of non-attachment. If a person that thinks that he cannot change the circumstances, then he will not be able to practice, and he will not be able to have non-attachment. Whatever you are now, you can be greater than that. For non-attachment, a person first thinks that this material world changes at every moment. Only then can vairagya, non-attachment, arise. Rag is attachment, and attachment is always with the stagnancy. You can create rag with a plastic flower, you cannot create rag with a real flower, and if you do create rag with it, then it will not last very long, because attraction will only stay until the flower is fresh and smells nice. As soon as the flower wilts, then you will have virag, repulsion, towards it. You would not want to keep a flower that has wilted. This is because it has changed. In the same way, this material world changes at every moment, and if a person thinks a little, then you understand that until now, no phases, circumstances, objects, or people have stayed with him all the time. Has any person stayed with me all the time? No, there is nobody that has sat in front of me for 24 hours. No matter how much you love a person, you need time on your own for at least 5 minutes. These things have gone away from you both in the body and the mind. That is why differences of opinions arise. And when there have been differences of opinion, then has the person gone far or not? He has gone far. Therefore, has any person, no matter how good he is, how much of a relation he is with you, or how much you love him, stayed with you all the time? No, he has not. No person stays with you all the time. No circumstance stays with you all the time. No phrase stays with you all the time. No phase stays with you all the time. Childhood comes and goes, and youth comes and goes. You could not keep these phases no matter how much you tried. How much would I have liked to have remained a child? There would be so much fun if you are 5 years old for life. There would be nothing for you to do. But no, childhood goes. You could not keep the same circumstances all the time. The fact that nothing until now has stayed with you all the time means that whatever you have now will not stay with you either. When you know this, then vairagya, non-attachment, arises. If all these things are not going to stay with you all the time, then why have you held on to them? You hold on to these things your hold on to these things automatically becomes looser. This is necessary for non-attachment. Second, your strength, capability, fortune, and time can be used to help other people, but at the same time as helping other people, if you keep the wish in your mind that because you're helping other people, they should help you as well, then rag, attachment, and dissatisfaction will increase. Definitely help other people and do work for other people, but at that time, you do not have an expectation in your mind that because you've helped the other person, they should help you as well. Only then can vairagya, non-attachment, arise. If you have expectation that the other person will help you, then the other person may not be able to help you, and your disappointment will increase. If there is an expectation, then there will also be disappointment. But if you do not have any expectation, then you will not be disappointed because the other person really may not be able to help you. If you do this, then vairagya, non-attachment, will arise. Third, faults, sorrows, sins, and turbulence all arise because of rag, attachment. with the material world. When one clearly understands this, then faultlessness, peace, happiness, and punya, the opposite of sin, will come as a result of freedom from rag, attachment. Such is its experience. Then vairagya, non-attachment, arises. If one walks on 2 roads of constant practice and non-attachment, then they can attain liberation. The mind can become steady, and as Shri Krishna said, the mind can become controlled. Let us take the next verse.